Hi, it's Sherri from A Quilting Life, and today I'm here to talk about some of my favorite quick projects. This week I finished up a couple of really big projects and I just wanted to make something small, something for a quick finish, a quick win, as they say, and it was so much fun, so refreshing sewing. Actually, I ended up doing several small, quick projects, and so I thought I would share some of my favorites with you here today. What started me on my little quick project journey this week was that I needed some drawer liners for some drawers in my bathroom, and I had run out of the stuff that you buy. And about the same time, I was cleaning out my closet and going through trying to straighten things up, and I found some soft and stable that I'd previously had quilted for a bag project that I never made. And it just clicked, wow, this would make a great drawer liner. So I measured my drawer, I cut the already quilted soft and stable to that exact measurement, and then I found some leftover binding that I had, and I started binding my little drawer liners. And they're so much fun, they're perfect. Got me started thinking you could do these with kitchen fabric for the kitchen. The things that I've put in the drawers, I've made 6 now, they don't slide, so it's great if you don't want stuff to roll around. The other thing I thought about with this is that this would make a great placemat. So another quick project. And what I usually do every time I find a fabric that I want to have quilted, I'll take a yard of the main fabric and I'll take a 1.25 yards of the backing to my quilter with a piece of soft and stable and just have her quilt it, and then I have it ready to go for bags and other projects like this. But you can also quilt it yourself. Just make sure that the bottom piece of fabric is bigger than the top piece, because they sometimes do shift even if you secure them. If you're quilting it yourself, you'd probably want to use Wonder Clips to hold them together. And you could just do straight line quilting or crosshatch quilting. This is a fancier pattern because I had my quilter do it on her long arm. Okay, next quick project I did this week was I wanted to make a mini quilt for my new sewing room. And this is a pattern I had previously made before, but I thought it would be a lot of fun to make it in our fabric collections. And this was literally a couple-hour project. I went to my scrap bins with my small strips, and I found all the pieces I needed for the spools. Picked the gray sun fabric from our new collection, started sewing it together. The next morning I got up and I quilted. I believe these lines are about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch apart. I just did it on my regular machine and bound it and had it ready to go. And I do want to show you the special foot I used on my machine when I quilted this. Okay, I ran over and got the feet that I used because I know some of you might be wondering about machine quilting. This is the walking foot that came with my machine, and what it does is it makes sure that your top and your bottom layers move together in unison when you're doing quilting, so that you don't get bubbles or puckers on the back. So you can see just by using this foot, it did a really good job. I also stopped halfway and ironed again to make sure that I wasn't going to get any puckers. Now with this, the width of my quilting was just the width of the foot. But if I'm doing things a little bit wider, there's also a bar that you can get that slides into your machine, and you can adjust it for how wide you want your line. So if you want, you know, whatever the width is, you measure between here and here. And it's really easy. And so I've used this a lot when I've done crosshatch quilting myself. Now what I did was I lengthened my stitch length to 3.5 because you don't need to have your stitches as close together if you're doing some simple machine quilting on your own. And I will lengthen this. I'm going to show you a couple other projects in a minute, but I'll lengthen my stitch whenever I'm doing just simple straight line quilting myself. I just want to show you this foot as well. This is the darning foot, and this is the foot that you would put on your machine if you were going to do free motion quilt, where you're actually moving your quilt and creating like a curved design. But anyway, the walking foot I just love. I did this mini quilt. Something else I wanted to show you was, this is called a Petit 4 basket. And this is a super fun, simple project. I will link this pattern. It's free from By Annie. And it's 2 layer cake squares and a piece of soft and stable to make this cute little basket that you can store whatever in. I have stored small rulers, just little knickknacks that I need on my sewing table. It's just a great, fun little project, and you can make them for gifts. Be great for little holiday gifts or just neighbor gifts or friend gifts. Really similar and from the same pattern designer is this Contain Yourself pattern, which actually comes in 3 different sizes. I think this is the small size and this is, I think, the medium size. I think there's a larger square, more bucket type size. This one's not a free pattern, but I'll link it as well. But projects like this are just super fun, easy to accomplish in an afternoon type of projects. Another idea for a fast, fun project is a little thread catcher. And I will try to find this pattern. I actually have wonder clips in there. But you can take it on a sewing retreat and use it for your little thread basket. And I'll either link this pattern or one really similar. I think I can still find this one. I made it a couple years ago. But this is just mini charms. And I quilted this just on my home machine, lengthened the stitch, and I did use Soft and Stable. I'll link Soft and Stable if you're not familiar with it. It's just stiffer than batting, so it gives your little projects a little bit more shape. Oh, this is another one of those little Contain Yourself baskets. So I make them pretty frequently. Another great idea if you're looking for a small project is pot holders. This is a free pattern on my blog. I'll link that. This is another pattern that I used, but I believe it's also a free tutorial pattern, and so I will link it as well. It's a little bit more complicated with the ruffle, but I like how you can slip your hand inside, and this is a combination of batting and a heat-proof material that you can use for pot holders. So just another fun idea of small projects that you can do. Pin cushions are also a great small project, and this one, I'll link this. This is a free tutorial that I have, just with really the smallest scraps you have. I have bigger pin cushions in different places in my sewing room, but it's really nice to have a little one that you can take with you on a retreat, or if you go into another room and you just want to have some pins with you. This is what I recommend if you're looking for a pin cushion pattern. Like I said, this one is a free tutorial, I'll link it. But this is the absolute very best book on pin cushions. Carrie Nelson is an expert. She engaged on a little project a couple years ago where she made a pin cushion or 2 or 3 every single day, and the result of her fun project was this cute book. But the great thing about this book is not only does it have the patterns for 40 different pin cushions, but she gives you a lot of tips about what to use for your stuffing and how to trim it, how to stuff it, how to sew the openings closed. It's just a really great book if you're looking for something small to make. A couple more ideas I had. This one is a project bag. These are also really easy to make and put together, and I'll link the pattern for this one. It has a few different sizes that you can make, and with the vinyl window you can easily see what you have stored in there. So these go together really quickly. Another great project. And then I was thinking a little needle case is super easy to do. It is some type of patchwork, and mine has a little pocket for scissors and thread, and then I'm going to sew a little piece of felt inside to keep the needles. But these make great gifts and give you something small to work on. Another fun thing to work on, and I just got this book recently, so but our baby quilts, or small quilts. I've been making so many big quilts, and when I got this book and looked through, it had 20 different patterns designed for jolly bars. Now, if you don't know what a jolly bar is a 10-inch by 20-inch piece of fabric, and they come in packs of either 40 or 42, I'll have to check that, but all from one fabric collection. So you can make a quilt. They're less pricey than layer cakes. It's cheaper than buying 2 charm packs. And then Fat Quarter Shop has come out with 2 books. This is volume 2. I have volume 1 as well. And the quilts all end up at about, you know, like lap quilt, baby quilt size. This one's 38.5 by 40. I was looking before, 48 by 57. They're all kind of in that 40 by 50, 50 by 60 inch size that are really good for kids and babies and quick gifts. So another idea if you're looking for a small project. And then finally, pillows are always a great small project, and this is one that I just found this free quilt block pattern the other day and put together this block. It's 18 inches square. It'll make the perfect size pillow. And so I'll link this pattern too, because it was so fast and fun to put together with strip piecing. I really did quite a few little small projects the other day, and thought it would be fun to share some of these ideas with you. So I hope you enjoyed this little discussion today about quick projects. I really do feel like it's important to do quick projects, interchange them with your bigger projects. It gives you that sense of accomplishment, that good feeling. You can mark something off your list, and you can make them ahead of time, find out which ones you like, make extras for gifts and have them on hand. I just really love having quick projects ready to go. And so hopefully this will give you some ideas. I'll be sure to link all of the ones I mentioned, and also hopefully it'll get you thinking about other small projects you can do. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and thanks so much for stopping by.